Okay, welcome. Welcome. We're at the West Australian Professional Photographer of the Year Awards and we're judging the wedding category. Now we're sponsored by Fitzgerald's. And just one moment. Okay, welcome to the wedding category. I'm sure there's thousands of people listening online, so they are listening now. We're judging the wedding category and we are sponsored today by our good friends Fitzgerald's. Okay, let's go straight into it. And with the category preamble, we need to listen. Okay, excuse me if you're judging. So I've got one judge here, and Diane DeRay. Yes, if we could be listening, because it's quite important that we know what the rules are that the entrants have followed, of course. This category is for wedding photography that represents industry practice, including but not limited to creative posing, photojournalism, post-production storytelling, and image presentation. The wedding category will be judged in two sections, wedding open and wedding single capture. Entries into the category must be commissioned and captured during the client's real wedding or civil union. The only exception is to accommodate cultural differences where the wedding runs over consecutive days. In wedding open, entries may use all post-production techniques, including the use of multiple images or elements to produce the entry. If several photographic elements are used, all the elements must be taken at the same wedding or civil union with the exemption of borders and textures. Wedding single capture. Entrants may use all post-production techniques, excluding the addition of new elements to the original capture, including borders and textures. The repetition of the same single capture, either in full or in part, is not permitted. Very high standards of traditional wedding styles should be duly recognised, as should images that reflect the highest level of contemporary market expectations. The judges should also consider the entries in the light of the category. Is the entry a great example of wedding photography? Images that are more interpretive or contemporary in nature may be better entered into illustrative. Although the category is judged in two sections to assist the judges in their assessment, there is only one award. Okay. Now, our judges today, we have joining us Erica Serena, Jacinta Delben, Lisa Ivanovic, Des Burt, David Oliver. Okay, I think we've had some introductions from everyone, so we might get straight into it. We are in Wedding Open to start with, and if you don't know, my name is Janet Craig and I am your panel chair for Wedding. Okay, so we all have got our drinks. We know everyone's all good, everyone's happy, audience is ready. Okay, first print please. Oh, first print, we have a score of 84, a silver award. Well done to the entrant. We have a couple of judges sitting on solid silver distinctions, but they're not 5 away from the average. Could I have a comment maybe from Lisa?
Yeah, I really love the concept of this one. The colour palette is beautiful, and they're not just being silly below, they're just being typical guys, larrikin idiots, and I love it. I think the colour palette's beautiful, the symmetry's lovely, and it's been handled really well. The gold suits just bring it home.
Beautiful. Thanks, Lisa. And we'll have next print, please. And the print score's 78. We're all sitting in that good professional practice. Is there anyone who'd like to offer? Yes, Des, thank you.
Yeah, great concept, and I'd actually encourage the photographer to perhaps pursue with this sequencing and storytelling. The key to a photograph like that is the emotional connection between the two, and there's a nice sort of courtesy between the two. But this is a daughter and a dad on an emotional day, and it's probably just needs that extra something between the two of them, and this would probably go into the award area.
Great comments. Thanks, Des. Okay, next print, please. And we have a silver award at 80. Well done to the entrant. And maybe a comment from David at 82.
Yes, look, I've enjoyed the lighting on the bride and the pose on the bride. I just feel that I'd like to have seen a bit more of something from the groom. He seems to be just standing there looking back. So to take this concept a little bit further, just get the groom actually physically doing something instead of standing there. But that, so you counterbalance the bride in that pose position. But no, it's a nice picture, great picture.
Lovely. Okay. Have our next print, please. And we have a silver award at 84. Right, a couple of really solid scores, but as we know, we have to be 5 away from the average. So we'll accept that score. And anyone like to offer some feedback? Des, for our entrant.
I don't know about the other judges, but what was really sticking in my eye was the cropping of the feet off, the ankles. Were you going to say that, Erica? Yeah. So if you could avoid that, this would go. That was just a really grating element there. So if you could include the feet proper, this would go up.
Oh, good. Well, good feedback for the for APA, perhaps. Okay, and next print, please. The wedding open category, and our sponsor is Fitzgerald's. Oh, and we have a silver award at 83. And I will accept that score. We do have a couple of judges sitting on the silver distinction range, Des and David, and a couple of 83s. Erica, would you like to offer some feedback to the entrant?
I really enjoyed this image. I think the bride looks absolutely gorgeous, and I really love the movement in the veil. And also the composition with the archway. I didn't quite understand if it's the groom multiplied 3 times over coming towards her, or if it was groomsmen, but I felt that I didn't really need to figure that out, and I just enjoyed it for, just the bride being so beautifully sharp, and she looks gorgeous, and the out of focus, well, blurry I should say, the movement of the groom. I quite liked it.
Wonderful, thank you. Just need to take a little rest for the moment, and I'd invite Diane DeRay to come and join us on the judging panel. Welcome, Diane. Wedding photographer extraordinaire. Amongst other things, of course. Next print, please. And we have a silver award at 80. All very solid scoring. And yes, Diane DeRay, if we could have a comment from you.
I think this is a really interesting composition. I really enjoy it, but I think the print treatment is possibly letting it down. So I'd explore either a black and white or a much darker image. And I don't usually love dark and moody, but I feel like if it was really dark and moody, it could really work. At the moment, we've got the more saturated centre section with the bride and groom, and the desaturated bit around. I don't feel like it's doing it a massive favour. So yeah, I think possibly the score could be higher with different print treatment.
Good. Thank you, Diane. Okay, next print, please. David? And we have a silver award at 80. Okay. And we had 3 of our judges. It was a majority 80, scoring in the 80 range. Yeah, Lisa, if you could.
Yeah, look, it's a really lovely print. I like all of the sort of the negative space with the rain, and it scored very well. It's just the fact that we've probably seen this a bit that stopped it going any higher. I don't think there's too much to improve it. It's a beautiful shot of what it is.
Beautiful. Okay, let's have the next print, please. And we have a silver award, 82. We have a couple of judges sort of sitting around the distinction range in Erica and Diane. And Des. Sorry, just a minute. Lucky I didn't press the button. So we've got an 82. Oh, you want to comment? I was going to say, you're not 5 away, Des. Des, I'd love to hear a comment from you, as would the author, I'm sure.
I mean, I didn't give this a silver, so I apologise. But the comment that I'd make, and this is to where to lift this. There's a lot of space there, and I don't know why. So I'd probably crop it down, and make use of that angle that is provided by the cape. So there's like going to be a nice little triangle there with the white, and so kind of make use of that with your composition. But the comment that I'd probably make about it is that it has the feeling of being a little staged, which you can't change that in the image. So it would be nice to have, there's just that body language of spontaneity, and I don't think it's quite there. So.
Well, good feedback.
And it's a great image.
Yeah. And congratulations to the author. We have an 82. Okay, I'll just do another judge change. David, would you mind taking a little break? And Vic, are you okay to step onto the panel, please? Good. Okay. Next print, please. And we have a score of 78. So we're all fairly close in our scoring range. Could I have a comment from you, Diane?
There's some really interesting graphical things happening here, which are lovely and pleasing to the eye. But when you get up close, the couple really looks quite awkward, and they're really jammed into that tiny little area. So I don't think that the pose of the couple suits how cropped they are. So yeah, I think, you know, keep exploring this sort of shapes idea. I think it's really interesting. But yeah, you just need to look at your posing and cropping as well, because the couple has been unintentionally cropped by that small gap that they're in.
Excellent. Well, thanks for that feedback, Di. I will do another judge change. Jacinta, would you mind popping back onto the panel, please? We'll keep our panel nice and fresh. Lisa, thank you for all your good work. And we welcome back Jacinta Delben, our visiting judge from Melbourne. Okay, and we'll have our next print, please. Score of 76. And yeah, could we have a comment from Des?
I don't mean to dominate, but I really want to help because I like the concept that the photographer's taking here. So this idea of kind of like having a forest of people works well, but there's a few technical issues. So the couple are totally blown out. So there's a lot of detail, and then the shadow areas are quite muddy, and so there's some. They just need to improve their techniques. So there's the room for improvement there. The other thing I'd suggest, and in wedding photography, and this might be a pet thing, but I really like to see emotion in wedding photography. It's a really emotional day, and not so much maybe the bridal party, but the couple are just standing there with zero emotion, and it would be kind of nice to see something natural happening there. But I'd pursue with this kind of design. There's some real potential there.
Excellent. Good. Thanks, Des. Okay, next print, please. We have a score of 77. Okay, we'll accept that score, and maybe a comment from Vic.
I think the photographer needs to be encouraged, and it's good professional standard. There's a little elements which would have helped it a little bit. It's a little bit tight for me as well down there at the dress level, but I like where the photographer's going.
Excellent. Good comments, nice and succinct and straight to the point. Well done, Vic. Okay, next print, please. And we have a silver award, 81. We're all so close in our scores from 80 to 82. Can anyone... Oh, yes, Diane.
I just wanted to say thanks to the author for entering this photo. I love quirky black and white photojournalistic stuff, so this is right up my alley. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I don't know that there's a lot that you can do to improve it. I think it is a good, solid silver, and that's what it got. So, good little moment. Well done.
Excellent. Okay, let's have our next print, please. And a silver award at 80. Okay. If I could have a comment. Anyone? Yes, Erica.
I really enjoyed the simplicity of this little set. Sometimes it's nice to just enjoy these sweet little moments that are not necessarily hugely grand, but quite important to the couple on their wedding day. I think their expressions are great and the colours are beautiful and they just look really happy, like they're having the best day.
Excellent. Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, I'll do a judge change. Des, thank you. And David Oliver, can you rejoin the panel, please? You've had your break. Is that another coffee? Okay. And next print, please. And we have a silver award at 82. And a challenge. Ooh, we'll accept the challenge from David Oliver. One moment, David. David, just to let you know that you have an 80, a 79, another 79, and an 82 to work with.
Yeah, look, the detail in this and the design is exquisite. There is so much detail. It's just really well done. And I like the use of the wide angle. It's been cleverly sort of lined up at the top, and you've got the walls that bend in, which helps the design, especially with those archways. And I thought this would go a lot higher. I thought it would be on the low side. But beautiful lighting on the bride and groom. No, it's an exquisite picture.
David's looking for a distinction, but we'll have another chat to him in a moment. Diane DeRay, could we have a talk to you?
Yes, I'm at 79 because I really wanted this to be a silver, and I'm thankful that it did get a silver, but I just can't go any higher because there's no connection whatsoever between the couple. I just feel like the photographer's just gone, now stand there, put your heads close together. I just can't see anything to elevate this into particularly a distinction range. And I guess being from Perth as well, I'm more familiar with the venue maybe. So, possibly it doesn't have that wow factor for me. But yeah, mostly, if the couple had a little bit more connection, then I could go a little bit higher, but that's what's holding me back. So let's hear from other people.
Oh, well, Vic, you were right on the average at 82. Can we hear from you?
I'm from Perth and I don't know the venue, but I haven't been photographing weddings lately. So I really like the image because of its graphic nature. I really did want a little bit more connection with the bride and groom as well. So when I went up there, I felt that I couldn't actually make out what they're actually doing. Either they're too small for my eyes or they're not doing anything much. So that's the only thing that's held me back.
Okay, right of reply, David.
Yeah, look, I think they're definitely posed, and I would have gone a lot higher if there had been that connection. But they are posed beautifully. They're looking at one another. They could be having a conversation. We don't know because they're such a small part of that image. But the detail in the building, and obviously I've never seen this before, so I'm going, yeah, wow. I haven't had that connection, but I just like the detail and the way this has been captured, and that's why I gave it 88. Yeah, so I thought this would... What's it scored?
82.
82, yeah. I thought I would have been on the low side.
Oh, David Oliver is looking for a silver distinction. I'll get you to hold your score, David, and if you could re-score judges. And we have an 84. It has every point counts. Could be the difference between being a finalist or yes, absolutely. So worth talking about. And let's face it, I'm sure the author loved hearing the comments. So I think we can move on to the next image. Okay, judges, all ready? Okay. Next print, please. We're waiting for Vix. Yes. Loaded that gun. Whoa! And we have a silver award at 80. And we have got a challenge from David Oliver.
Absolutely.
David, before you go ahead, I will accept your challenge, but I need to tell you that we have an 80, a 75, a 78, and an 80 to work with.
Wouldn't you just want to be at that wedding? I mean, they are having so much fun. Each one of them is an award-winning image. The top one is just amazing, with the rain coming down, and then they all end up in the pool, and then the bride and groom at the end of the night. It's outrageous. I haven't seen anything like this before. And it's, photojournalism at its best. The middle one with the bride and groom in mid-air, ready to land in the water. So, I just think it's... really well done and well captured.
Thanks, David.
I want a few extra marks.
A few extra marks. Well, you're looking for a silver distinction, and the print scored 80. Could I hear from Diane at 75?
Yes, we're poles apart, David. Look, I think the story is in the middle image. I don't particularly enjoy the top or the bottom image as much as you do, but I think the middle image is really amazing. But mostly it's just the print treatment. It's very muddy. You know, the whites and blacks are just, yeah, it's just the print treatment for me. But also, I really think the middle is where it's all at, and the other two are distracting me from the middle. Anyway, that's just, yeah, look, I can come up a bit, but I don't think I'm going to be in distinction. Sorry, David.
Well,
Sorry, author.
We're still talking about it, so I would like to hear from Erica on 80.
I'm a little bit with Diane, but I did give it a silver. There's a couple of technical issues that really annoy me, but when I first saw it come up, I thought, wow, these guys are having the best time ever at their wedding, which is why I did, for that reason alone, I did give it a silver. In the bottom image in particular, that guy's head in the bottom left-hand corner, I just feel like you could have just cropped it off altogether. It didn't need to be there. I find it really distracting. And same with the top image, just where the couple's heads are, right where you've got the horizon line and then the trees kind of coming in on a curve. I just thought better placement could have been utilised to make that a stronger image. And a little bit like Di mentioned, I just find the printing a bit muddy, but I did love the energy, I guess, of the three photos together, and I do think that they tell a really beautiful story. So I am listening also.
I invite David Oliver to.
Yeah, so this is
reply.
a progression of the day. So it's interesting that you've got what's happening earlier in the day and then into the evening, and where they've landed up. But you know, the top one, the reason for this texture is because if you had contrast in those bottom two, then it just wouldn't work with that top one. So I like the fact that they've allowed detail instead of pushing the contrast up in those bottom two images. So that I think they do blend quite well together. And you're seeing a lot of detail, which you don't get if you add contrast and bring in all the blacks, because the foreground of the pool is going to disappear and a lot of the elements in the bottom one will disappear. So I like the way the treatment has been handled. But no, I just think this is an amazing image. And again, I thought I'd be on the low side on this one. I thought I'd get into trouble. I'm not quite working this one through.
Okay, David, if you could hold your score at 88, and judges, I'd invite you to rescore. And we have a final score of 83. Those 3 more points, David, could have made the difference. Now, I'm reminding everyone with this image still here that we do have a party on for the cocktail party. There is an after party afterwards, I do believe, Lisa. Is that right? I don't think it's going to go as crazy as this party in front of us. Bigger. Oh dear. Okay. Now, while we're talking to Lisa, Erica, you've been on for a long time. If you'd like to have a little rest, and Lisa, if you could come and join us on the panel. Oh, and there are drinks afterwards today, but we've got to be bright and chirpy for tomorrow, so there won't be any of those sort of shenanigans going on. Oh my goodness, that is amazing. The awards night, we're almost sold out. So if you want your tickets, you better get in there and get your ticket. And you really need to be at the awards night to be there for the after party. So I'll talk a little bit more about the drinks that we've got after judging tonight later, because we are all ready and raring to go for our next print, please. Okay, and we have a score of 76. Okay, if we could have a comment, yes, from Diane. Thank you, Diane.
Yeah, look, really interesting composition here. I'm enjoying the monochrome tone, so well done to the author for scoring in a professional practice. But the main image of the couple in the middle just has zero emotion whatsoever. They're really just holding each other and looking at each other. So yeah, I think keep doing this sort of interesting work, but definitely need to work on the posing with the couple. Sometimes couples are very staid, and you do have to, really work hard to get them to have a little bit of emotion. So just keep working on that.
Okay, what would you, a cattle prod or something like that?
A bit of Viagra?
Viagra. Okay, right. So we've gone off topic a little bit, but yes. Okay, and next print, please. Okay, and we have a silver distinction at 85. And we're all sort of hitting up around that distinction area. Anyone like to offer some feedback for the author? Yeah, Vic, thank you.
It's not feedback more than observation. I think it's very smart. Like I've not seen a shot like this before, so conceptually it gets me excited. The different layers and the climbing to the top, and the brides, I think it's the bridesmaid helping the bridesmaid up to the next level, and the groomsman helping the bridesmaid up to the next level, and the next level's the bride and groom, and the groom's balancing the ring, and it's in a cake, and it's like, and it's real. Like it's very, very interesting. I've never seen anything like it.
I don't know how they had a cake that big at their wedding.
Yeah, I'm not sure where they buy the cakes from.
It's like a giant cake. Yeah.
But the concept, like how difficult is it to come up with something original in wedding photography?
So original, fantastic image. Yeah, and Lisa, if you can.
Constructive feedback. If you could work on the believability of some of the composites, this would have gone up to gold in my level. And a couple of the bridesmaids isn't quite touching. The feet on one of the groomsmen isn't quite where it should be on the edge. Just fine tune that and make it look like they're really there, and it's awesome. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. I think we need a blank screen for the moment. Blank screen. Okay. And just one moment, judges. Let's just take a little break. We're just getting our next wedding sorted.
Guys, in room 2, can we just keep the noise down? They're still judging next door. Thanks.
We have. Who do we have? And Jacinta. So, I just moved you in, didn't I? Again. Judges, front and centre, we have the wedding single capture. You remember the rules? Single capture. Okay, next print, please. And the print scores 79. Okay, we'll accept that score. And could we have a quick comment from Vic? Yes, with your hand up. Just a quick comment.
I
Vic.
think this shot could have. I don't know. It's too late to improve it now. But I think if the bride was more centred and the dress wasn't, because it's a very staid. It's even though the groom's doing what he's doing and it's very intriguing with the walk. I think if the bride was more, correctly proportioned in the middle and the dress was more flowing the way that it should, just that little extra detail could have been a few more points.
Thanks, Vic. I just encourage our judges to be quite snappy with your, quite snappy up, quite snappy back, get those scores in. Okay, next print, please. Judging the wedding category, and our sponsor is Fitzgerald's, who I think have sponsored the wedding category for many, many years. And we really appreciate their sponsorship and their support. And we have a silver award at 81. Yes, thank you, Jacinta.
Just a few things. Is that I can't see her hands around those flowers. I know the attention's meant to be on her face, but I can't see her hands at all on the bouquet that she's holding. Plus, her arm is quite dark. So, just a few little technical things to look
A few
at.
technical things. Thanks, Jacinta. Okay, next print, please. And the image scores 79. Okay. Now we have one judge in the 80 range. Vic?
I think this is, it could have been printed slightly better, but I like the idea. So it's unusual that you get this sort of shot where you see the bride and father in the car at the same time as seeing the reaction of all the, guests. So it's unusual. I think keep working on it. It's not perfect, but the printing could be helped a little bit more, but it's on its way.
Lovely. Thank you, Vic. Okay, next print, please. And we have a score of 78. Could I have a comment from Lisa?
I thought it was quite lovely. I put it in the silver range. I think if you just have another go and keep working at this, you'll get somewhere. There's a few distracting elements, but it's really close.
Thanks, Lisa. Okay, just have a judge change. Jacinta, if you have a rest for a moment. And Des, can you rejoin us on the panel? Des is chafing at the bit. Okay, all settled. And next print, please. Okay, and the printer scored 78. We're all very close in our good professional practice for this image. Can anyone offer a comment to the author? David Oliver, thank you.
Yeah, it's just controlling those highlights. They're very strong, and you've got the brightest spot is just above the groom, one of the groomsmen on the left-hand side. So it takes your eye away from the bride and groom.
Thanks, David. Next print, please. And we have a score of 77. Okay, we'll accept that score. Let's have a chat about the print, though. Anyone? Yes, Diane, if you'd like to offer a comment.
Yeah, look, this is a beautiful album print. I think it's very well controlled. It's nicely executed. The couple would love it. It's a really solid photo of a bride, and it definitely belongs in the area of professional practice. So well done to the author. But for the awards, we are looking for something just slightly above what you would produce every day. So, yeah, just a little bit of an X factor.
X Factor. That's good. Thanks, Di. Okay, next print, please. And we have a silver award at 80. Excellent. Could we have a comment? Yes, from Lisa?
I really love the graphical nature of this image. What I think might improve it, the bride's looking down and out. If she was perhaps looking up and over, had her head up or something like that, it might be a lot stronger. And she might just be a touch too dark. I know you want to keep it in tone with the shade sails, but just a little bit more light on her face. But it's really well seen. It's something I haven't seen before.
Great comment. I'll do another judge change. Just keep us nice and snappy. Vic, thank you. You've been here for a little while. Appreciate. And Erica, would you mind coming back onto the panel for us? Erica Serena, newly engaged. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay, next print, please. And we have a score of 77. Okay, accept that score. And some feedback from Des, please. Thank you.
Yes, 3 pieces of advice. Crop, crop, crop.
Ah.
Okay. The ear and that lady's head is way too dominant, and because the key to this image, of course, is the expression on the face. So she needs to be cropped out. Maybe just framing, experiment the cropping, but if you would like to improve this image, then I would make sure the focus is on that bridesmaid and her expression.
Excellent. Okay, we are judging the wedding single capture at the West Australian Professional Photographer of the Year Awards, and we'll have next print, please. And this print scores 77. Could I have a comment from Diane.
Look, what a beautiful background. You know, it's a stunning setting. Unfortunately, the bride is just slightly awkward in the frame, so she's cut off at the feet. She needs to come closer towards the steps so that we can see her feet, and also her pose is slightly awkward. So it's always more flattering on a lady to have slightly bent arms. It just creates a nicer flow with the dress. So she's got one totally bent arm where you can't see the rest of it, and then one very straight arm. So yes, maybe you have another frame from this series where you can see the feet and she's doing something a little bit more elegant with her dress, and then I would encourage you to resubmit the photo.
Excellent. Thanks, Diane. Okay, next print, please. Snappy, thanks, judges. Okay, and the print scores 80, a silver award. Well done to the author. And we'll keep our comments a little bit quicker and a little bit more succinct because we are running a little bit behind time. But we do want to give the feedback to the author. Is there anyone who would like to? Yes, David Oliver, thank you.
Yeah, a fantastic expression on the bride. Crop out the sky. Just come in tight on the bride and all those people, and they would improve it out of sight.
Oh, fantastic feedback. Thanks, David. Okay, next print, please. And print scores 79. Okay, we had two people in the 80s. And Erica, if you'd like to give us a comment.
I really loved the mood and the emotion of both the bride and I'm assuming the groom. I just felt that there were a few technical issues that really let it down for me, and that was the reason why I didn't award it a silver. So if maybe you are considering entering this into APA, I would even think about doing this in black and white. The right hand side of the image where the groom is so yellow, especially in comparison to the bride on the left. His feet are chopped off, so see if maybe there is a little bit more to the frame to bring them back in and perhaps crop the top a little bit more. But he looks really emotional, like he's just finished reading perhaps the card that she's given him, and she's reflecting on her engagement ring. So I think the story's really beautiful, and I love the symmetry as well. So maybe those few little tips might help.
I'm sure they will. Okay, next print, please. And the their print is a Silver Award, 80. Feedback for the author, Lisa?
Gorgeous light, gorgeous print, wonderful pose, but there's just not enough life in them. If they look like they've been holding that pose for a while rather than actually be mid-dance. If they were mid-dance, magical.
Thanks, Lisa. Next print, please. Okay, was Silver Award 81. All very solid judging there, judges. If we could have a comment from Des. Thank you, Des.
Yeah, this was a quick to improve it. The hand there is just way too bright, and it's a nice, easy fix. Tone that down. Skin tones are a little dark, probably lift them up a bit. And but the capture here is wonderful. You know, really nice, expressive moment, and it's a key one and part of the wedding day.
Lovely. Thanks, Des. Okay, next print, please. There is a area reserved at Bill's Bar for after this. Bites next door, which is at the Leaderville Hotel after judging tonight. And if anyone's there for a drink and a chat, I'm going to be there. We won't be too tired, will we? Okay, the print score is 78. And we have a comment from Diane DeRay.
Look, this is a really lovely, touching moment. It looks beautiful from back here, but it's just not quite sharp. So when you get up, it's just, it's not quite there.
Okay. Good comment. Thank you, Diane. Okay, let's have a judge change. You've been with us for a little while, Lisa. Thank you for all your hard work and wonderful comments. Could we have Jacinta to come back? Our beautiful judge from Melbourne. She has 4 children and is an amazing photographer, shooting families and pets and lots of newborns. Okay. Next print, please. And we have a score of 79. No, we can't challenge because we're not 5 away. You were on 83. Would you like to give a comment, though, for the author?
First, the one thing that got me here was connection, which I've been looking for. I found it was beautiful, the connection between the bride and groom here, and just the placement of the faces with the nose lining up with the nose, and every detail in there. I thought it was beautifully done. So well done to the photographer.
Okay, thanks, Jacinta. Okay, so just remember that 5-point thingy. It's so annoying. I never did agree with that one. Or maybe I did. Okay, so eyes forward, and we'll have our next print, please. Of course, if we were at APA, we do have the review scenario, so the print often lives to see another day or another judging panel, which is just wonderful for our 84s and our 79s. Oh, and we have a majority 79. Talking about 79s, and of course no challenges, and no one 5 away from the average. Could we have a comment though from Diane?
This has got a lot of potential. I think it's really beautiful. Their connection is lovely, even though they're not doing a lot. They still have really beautiful emotion on their face. But it really is the tonal mapping here that lets the photo down. So a good tip that I learnt years ago is to squint your eyes at your print under lights and see where your eye goes. And the eye goes straight to the veil underneath the bride and the back of the groom and that top left corner. So if you can work on balancing up where your eye should be, then I think you might be onto something here.
Thanks, Diane. We're all squinting at the print. So, oh, we don't want those. Okay. Next print, please. And the image scores 79. Oh, and a challenge. We have a challenge from David Oliver. David, I do need to let you know that you have a 77, 79, 77 and 78 to work with.
Okay.
Take it away.
Yeah, I just love the colour palette of this picture and the movement of the bride and the action. I really love that. Okay, so in a perfect world, we get rid of the groom. But we've got what we've got, and I'm not going for a high score here. I'd just love to see this get a silver. That's why I went 84, because I saw what happened last time. But the lighting and the colour and the beautiful rim lighting coming through the tungsten onto a dress, it is quite a lovely image, and I'd love to see it get that other point.
Well, we're not far off. We have Des and Jacinta at 77. Des, would you like to have a chat?
I'm not too far off, David,
No.
but there's things that can be done. So to this image, for a start, I would straighten the verticals, and I agree it's the colour palette's the key to this. And I agree the groom. Why is he there? He's just he's just a statue there at the moment. He's not interacting, and she's having a good time. Probably crop the walls out. I don't see the relevance of having so much wall. So there's a number of factors I think that I would suggest to play with for the photographer. But the key, as David mentioned, is the colours involved, and they really do hit you when you first see the image. Yeah, I'll probably come up a little bit, but I think there's just that lack of interaction between the two. They're just going through the motions there.
Thanks, Des. We have Diane is just off the 80 at 79.
Oh, I'm so close.
So close.
As a wedding photographer, I spend half my life taking blue out of wedding dresses, and this dress is half yellow and half blue, and I just cannot get past that.
Okay, you've got some work to do, David.
Enjoying the blue and the yellow. Those two colours really come together, and because she's in she's got that little bit of daylight, those last few rays mixed with the tungsten. That's what I really enjoyed. Actually, when you go in close, the groom's expression isn't too bad. So maybe we shouldn't sort of throw him out too quickly. So, but yeah, no, look, I'd just like to see this get another couple of points to sort of maybe help this photographer and encourage the photographer, because, yeah, that is it's a beautiful image. Wonderful colour palette.
Lovely. Okay, David's looking for an 80. You can hold your score, David, at 84, and I'll ask our other judges to rescore, please. Oh, and we have a silver award at 80. I think enough has been said about this beautiful colour palette. So let's go for the next print, please. And we have a majority, 84. So the entry actually scored 85, but 84 by majority. Silver award, yeah. Okay, and a comment from, yeah, we've got some solid scores here for this beautiful image.
I'm really sad this didn't get a silver distinction. I think it's really majestic, I think is probably the correct word for this. She looks incredible. I love her expression. I love all of the beautiful detail in her dress. Her hands are perfectly positioned. The composition is beautiful. I can't really fault it. I think it's gorgeous. I can't actually add anything to it as to how to improve it, because I think it's beautiful as it is.
Lovely. Thanks, Erica. We'll do a judge change. Lisa, would you mind coming back on the panel? And Diane, thank you. You've done some wonderful work there. Okay, next print, please. And we have a silver award, 81. Excellent. Anyone want to give some quick feedback to the author? Yeah, Erica, thank you.
I love this. She's having the best time. I think it's a really awesome little moment. I have no idea what the groom is doing in the background, but he makes me laugh. So I really like that about it.
He's trying to save his head.
Yeah, I think it's a really, really awesome moment. Maybe just a couple of little things with the printing. I find her teeth ridiculously white and her face quite dark. I think maybe there could be a little bit of improvement there, but as in terms of the actual moment, I think it's awesome. I love it.
Lovely. And a silver award for the entrant. Wonderful. Thanks, Erica. Next print, please. Oh, and we have a silver award, 81. And a challenge, David Oliver.
I'll take Des on here.
Yeah, take it away, David.
I love the reality of this image. The bride and groom are really into it. He's trying to get the bride down that to the beach, obviously, and the seagull is just holding it all together, coming up the bank, and that's what I'm enjoying. You know, like that juxtaposition of the two of them heading off to have some portraits done, and then you've got this goal, just the decisive moment, heading up the hill. They're heading down. So it's just one of those quirky sort of images that sort of, I think, works really, really well.
Okay, thanks, David. And a little away from you is Des at 76. Des?
Sure. So decisive moment, yes, but I'm not agreeing that it's working well. There's so much separation, and I don't see the relevance of the bird in this instance. So, and I often see, seeing seagulls flying around couples down at the beach is a relatively common occurrence. So it's not, say, difficult to get a bird in the frame somewhere. And so if this is one of the examples of that, then it's not one that's working. I think there's just too much space between the two, and there's not a relevance of the bird in this instance. I almost think the image would be better without the bird, and just to show this isolation and desolation, and of a couple going somewhere. But it wasn't, to me, just didn't have that strong a relevance.
Okay, thanks, Des. Lisa, you were sort of up there with David on 82.
Yeah, I don't think I've got too much more to add. I agree with what David said. I do also love the moment and the negative space and the bird. It's very pleasing to me.
Okay, right of reply, David.
I guess I looked at the arc of the couple, and you've got they're almost mirroring the wings of the bird, and that's what I've looked at, and I'm thinking, yeah, that's kind of quirky and well seen and well found. So it's just that mirroring of the two of them. I mean, the two of them and the bird with the wings. So I thought it was kind of interesting. That's why I gave it the silver distinction. But happy to, for it to go up a few points.
It is the printer scored 81. David has scored at 86. He's looking for a silver distinction. If you could hold your score, David, and judges, please rescore. Oh, just a sec. Just a sec. Here we go. Right, go. Ooh, and we have a silver award, 83. So close. Okay, next print, please. Okay, we have a silver award, 81, with a challenge. Her hand flies in the air, faster than the speed of light. Lisa, you have scored at 88.
I have.
You do have a little bit of company with an 80 and an 82. Take it away.
I'm hoping I can explain to my fellow judges what is going on here. That is a bee or a wasp coming for the bride. That's not a tattoo or a dust mark. And they are all reacting brilliantly to it. The moment's been caught. The bee has been frozen. It's been printed well. The lights have been handled well. The expressions are so genuine and so real. For single image capture, at a moment when a bunch of girls dressed up pretty freak out over an insect, what more can you ask for? This is brilliant. I'd love to see it come up into the Silver Distinction range.
Okay, thanks, Lisa. Well, Des, you thought it was good too. 82?
Yes, I thought it was good. And the way I said, so I picked that there was a fly, bees, an insect, and the bride's freaking out. Without that element, I saw this as professional practice. It's a fairly stock standard image of the bridesmaids together, and you'd expect to get that image. And what took it into, for me, into award range was the reaction on the bride's face and the fact that we can see the insect. And that's where I've landed, and I'm kind of comfy with that. To extend it into distinction, I kind of need something a bit more.
Okay. Well, David, could we have a quick comment from you? You scored it still good professional practice, 77.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed the bride's expression. I was wondering what in heaven's name was creating that expression. And then we've gone from dust to tattoo. Now it's a bee. So let's go with the bee. And yeah, I'm happy to go into the silver category.
Excellent. And let's see, also, Erica, you thought the image was silver.
I did, yeah. Pretty similar to what Des said, I guess. I did notice, well, at first when I went up to the image, I thought, okay, what are they looking at? And then I saw that there was a bee or an insect of some kind. I think the printing has been handled really well. I think all of the expressions look great. For the moment that's been captured, the crop is great. I really enjoyed it, and I thought silver is where it should be sitting. I don't really feel that we're silver with distinction. I don't feel that it's superior visual communication, imagination, craft and skill.
Okay, well, Lisa's going to tell you why it is.
Because it is, and I said so. No. I can't really say more than what I said before, so rather than reiterate it all, what I said before, I implore you to come up a couple of points at least.
Okay, hold your score, Lisa, and please rescore, judges. It has come up a couple of points. We have a silver award, 84. Good work, judges. Okay, next print, please. And we have a silver award at 80, a majority 80. Excellent. And a comment? Volunteer Jacinta, thank you.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this, the moment turned around, just the moodiness of it. The one thing that I suppose was holding me back from going higher, as I did score at 83, I did score at a high silver, was the groomsmen in the back are great, they're talking amongst themselves, but the groom looks quite contrived, so he's just standing there with a general look on his face, but I want to see some emotion from him from the day. So either he's reading something that his vows or something, he's got some nerves on his face or some excitement, some emotion, something just to lift it a little bit higher to the next award level.
Great comments. Thanks, Jacinta. Okay, let's have our next print, please. And we have a silver award, 81. And we've got some solid scoring in the 80s for this image. Comment? Maybe Des?
Mine will be complimentary. I'm not sure what else can be done to improve the image, but what I really enjoyed about this was the level of detail. You can see her eyelashes, you can see through his glasses, you can see through the lace. So I really enjoyed this image because it was so well executed. It's a little bit statue-like, but I kind of actually thought that maybe that's what the photographer was going for with that shape. So it's almost marble-like statues with just really fine detail. So I really enjoyed it.
Beautiful. Okay, next print, please. And the printer scored 75. Everyone's sitting quite solidly in the professional practice range. Can I have a comment from anyone? David Oliver? Thank you.
Yeah, it's just the placement of the bride, you know, with that strong shadow going straight through her. Just a different angle brought back or forward just to take her out of that strong triangle would have worked, I feel.
Okay, thanks, David. Okay, next print, please. And we have a silver award, 80. David, you scored at 84. Any feedback?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. Very emotive. It's a typical groom, you know, kissing his grandma with his hands sort of between his legs. It's that juxtaposition of awkwardness, I guess, which I enjoyed. And the guys looking on, probably uncles or grandfather, and who knows, you know. It's just in the shoes, yeah. There's some interesting, quirky moments there, you know.
Lovely. Okay, next print, please. And we have a silver award at 82. Excellent. Anyone like to offer a comment for the... Yes, Erica?
I really liked this. I think it's a gorgeous, gorgeous moment that's been captured really well. Everyone's expressions are fantastic. I love the cropping, the composition, everything. There's just one tiny little thing that I would do to maybe just improve it ever so slightly, just to bring down the highlights just at the very top of the stairs. It just seems like a bright band going through the top of the image. But other than that, I love it.
Excellent. Thank you, Erica. Good feedback. Could we have a blank screen, please? And that was the last print for the category. Well done, judges. Very well there. We will be moving straight into pet and animal. I will need here, Des, you'll be panel sharing. Vic, you'll be here for pet. So Lisa and David, you'll be doing pet and animal with a toilet with 2 minutes, yes?